After 10 years of marriage, David Song had slept with all my colleagues and friends. I pretended not to notice, dutifully going for my 8-month prenatal checkup. Until one day on the way to the checkup, his new flame ran me down with her car. Bleeding profusely, I begged him to take me to the hospital. David Song looked at me with disgust. "Lily Lin, when did you learn to fake an accident? Don't think you can act like this and make me care about you. Even if you die in front of me, I won't give you a second glance." With that, he sped off with his new darling. By the time I was sent to the hospital, the baby in my womb had already died of suffocation. Even my mother, shocked by the news, had a relapse of her heart disease and passed away. When I woke up, I looked at Grandpa Song, numb. "Let me go. I've paid back what I owed the Song family with my life." 1. As I spoke, messages kept flooding my cell phone. Countless photos of David Song and his new favorite, Ashley Stone. While I was in critical condition during a difficult labor, the two of them were at a 5-star hotel, fighting until dawn. Ashley Stone, covered in hickeys, leaned against David Song, her smile full of provocation. Grandpa Song, unaware of the truth, wanted to make a final effort. He took out a stock transfer agreement and placed it in front of me. "Lily Lin, David isn't a bad kid at heart. You've loved him for so many years, why not give him another chance? As long as I'm here, no one can shake your position as Mrs. Song." I didn't say anything, casually opening a video sent by Ashley Stone. The sounds of their entanglement immediately filled the hospital room. Ashley Stone asked breathlessly, "David, you left Lily Lin on the road. Don't you feel any pity?" David Song nibbled on Ashley Stone's neck, his eyes glazed. "What's there to pity? The person I love most is you. Even if Lily Lin gives birth to a child, she's not worthy to compare with you." Those vulgar sounds made Grandpa Song's veins bulge with anger. With a long sigh, he finally chose to compromise. "The Song family is sorry for what happened. I'll handle the divorce, and I'll give you your freedom in 7 days. As for your mother and child's funeral arrangements." As he spoke, the nurse brought the baby over. It seemed that even heaven couldn't bear to see me continue to waste away in this marriage. The child was stillborn. I turned my head away, trying to calm my emotions. "Bury the child in the Song family estate, I'll take my mother's ashes." Grandpa Song nodded painfully. "It's my fault. I shouldn't have forced you to stay in the Song family. Go, go, you deserve a wider world." With that, he hunched over and left, carrying the dead child. The tears I had been holding back finally streamed down my face. A myriad of bitterness welled up in my heart. My marriage to David Song was arranged by Grandpa Song. He needed someone to keep an eye on David Song. I needed someone to pay for my mother's expensive medical bills. So we hit it off. I quit my job and married David Song. After the marriage, I learned about David Song's tragic experience of losing his parents at a young age. I also saw him crying out, "Mom," in his sleep at midnight. 2 broken souls resonated at that moment. I wanted to heal David Song's heart. I wanted to build a happy family with him. To fulfill my duty as a wife, I practiced my cooking, trying to recreate the taste of his mother's cooking that he described. I traveled all over, recreating the small wooden house in his memory bit by bit. I even learned all kinds of bedroom tricks to satisfy his needs. I thought we would have a happy future. But on our wedding anniversary, he brazenly took my best friend to a hotel. I ran over to question him like a madwoman. David Song sneered and threw the contract between me and Grandpa Song in my face. "Lily Lin, what do you think you are? You think you're Mrs. Song after playing with me for a few days? You're just a dog my grandpa bought. What right do you have to ask about my affairs? If you dare to make me unhappy, I'll immediately stop your mother's treatment." I was struck by lightning, unable to say a word. After that, David Song became even more brazen. After playing with internet celebrities and actresses, he began to target my friends, constantly crossing my bottom line. On one side was my mother, who needed treatment, and on the other was a marriage that had long rotted. The forces on both sides pulled me back and forth, almost driving me to collapse. Once, I lost my footing and fell down the stairs because I was distracted, only to find out that I was pregnant. Grandpa Song almost begged me and said, "Lily Lynn, keep this child. He may be the turning point in your marriage. If David still doesn't restrain himself after the child is born, I will definitely not force you anymore." Carrying all kinds of complex emotions, I chose to agree. I never imagined that after working so hard, I couldn't keep anything: my mother, my child, my marriage, my love. 2. I slowly wiped away the tears from the corners of my eyes and looked up at the gloomy sky outside the window. Perhaps the only consolation was that both David Song and I had gained freedom. As I was lost in thought, David Song's cell phone rang. "Lily Lynn, did you go to Grandpa to complain again? You've ruined my and Ashley's rare time alone. I warn you, if you dare to do this again, I'll cut off your credit card." If it were before, I would have humbly explained and apologized to David Song, trying every means to gain his forgiveness. But now, I just said indifferently, "Whatever." Faced with my cold attitude, David Song was a little surprised. But soon, he sneered. "I heard the child was born. Having a child gives you the confidence to speak. But don't forget, I'm the heir to the Song family. As long as you're still in the Song family, I have plenty of ways to torment you." I closed my eyes. I had seen David Song's methods before. The first time I caught him in the act of cheating, I naively went to Grandpa Song to seek justice, only to be met with David Song's crazy revenge. He used my mother as a threat, forcing me to kneel on the freezing cold balcony of the bedroom and slap myself repeatedly. That night, the sounds of his pleasure with his mistress never stopped all night. I was sent to the hospital with a swollen face because of frostbite. The last bit of sincerity I had was completely dissipated in the heavy snow. After that, no matter how outrageous David Song was, I pretended not to see it. I silently endured David Song's various humiliations and bullying, trying to maintain my status as Mrs. Song. But now, my mother was gone. The child couldn't be saved. This nominal marriage should also come to an end completely. I hung up the cell phone coldly. I got up and contacted a friend at the funeral home to book a cremation time. When I returned to the hospital room, I saw David Song standing at the door. He frowned at me, then sneered. "Why don't you continue to act pitiful? You're running around everywhere right after giving birth. You're in such good health, you probably don't need postpartum care. I plan to bring Ashley Stone to live in the mansion. She's young and delicate and doesn't know how to do housework. Check out of the hospital and come back to be our nanny." As he spoke, David Song leaned closer to me, a malicious smile on his face. "Your pained expression is my best aphrodisiac in bed." He stared at me, expecting to see me in pain and sadness. But I just had a calm and numb expression. Feeling bored, David Song stopped a nearby nurse. "Where's the child? Boy or girl? Bring it to me." The nurse looked panicked. I said helplessly, "Grandpa took the child away." David Song wanted to say something else, but his cell phone rang. As soon as he answered the call, his expression changed drastically. Then he slapped me in the face. "Lily Lynn, what did you do to Ashley Stone? If anything happens to her, I will never let you go." Already weak, I lost my balance and crashed into the handrail behind me. The nurse hurried forward to help me. "Mr. Song, Mrs. Song just gave birth. You'll kill her if you do this." David Song seemed not to hear. He left quickly, concerned about Ashley Stone. The nurse looked at me with sympathy. My pale face had no extra expression. It seemed that all the love and hate had been exhausted in 10 years of torment. 3. After the examination, the doctor told me to rest. I finally understood why David Song was angry. The child was dead, and Grandpa Song was filled with grief and anger, banning Ashley Stone from the internet. Ashley Stone mistakenly thought that I was retaliating and complained to David Song, adding fuel to the fire. That's why David Song hit me. Not only that, David Song revoked my status as a shareholder in Song Enterprises and replaced me with Ashley Stone. He even bought 20 stars and named them after Ashley Stone to make her happy. During an interview, Ashley Stone proudly showed off the wedding ring on her hand. I never thought I was the other woman. If a woman can't hold her husband's heart, she deserves to be a widow. Besides, the current Mrs. Song only married him for the Song family's money. I'm different. I only have sincere feelings for David. The comments below were polarized. A group of mindless, fanatical fans tagged my account, insulting and scolding me, telling me to give up my position to Ashley Stone. I looked at it and only felt ironic. After all these years, David Song's tricks for coaxing girls hadn't changed at all. Back then, he treated me the same way. After learning that my family was poor and I had never celebrated my birthday, he sent me 20 gifts on my 20th birthday, from a gold lock for 1-year-olds to a mansion for 20-year-olds, saying he wanted to make up for the suffering I had endured in the past 20 years. I remember that day, he held my hand under the starry sky. Lily Lynn, I lost my parents when I was young. From now on, I will treat your mother like my own mother. I will build the happiest family with you. I melted in his affectionate eyes. I also naively thought that I had found someone I could spend my life with. But later, the novelty wore off. David Song quickly fell in love with someone else. During a date, he forgot about me on the mountain in order to give flowers to his mistress. That day, I walked hundreds of miles home alone. My feet were covered in blood, and I still have scars on my legs that will never disappear. Actually, I should have understood at that time that this man was selfish and fickle and would never settle down for anyone. That contract was just an excuse for him to cheat. Thinking of this, I left a message under Ashley Stone's video. Congratulations on your happy marriage and may you have children soon. Not long after the message was sent, Ashley Stone deleted the video. Immediately after, I received a questioning cell phone from David Song. I didn't answer it. Instead, I calmly blocked him, just like he usually treated me. Then, I suddenly remembered that today was the day my mother was cremated. I explained the situation and checked out of the hospital early. The attending doctor was worried but couldn't persuade me, so he took the initiative to accompany me. When the staff handed the urn to me, I didn't feel the grief I had imagined. I only felt that the shackles that had bound me for 10 years had been completely broken at this moment. I sighed softly, said goodbye to the doctor, and returned to the Song family estate alone to pack my luggage. As soon as I walked into the living room, I saw David Song and Ashley Stone sitting on the sofa. When they saw me come back, Ashley Stone quickly pulled up the zipper of her skirt. But the red marks on her body still revealed how intense the battle had just been. I didn't feel sad or angry. As if I didn't see anything, I walked into the bedroom with a blank expression. When I came out, Ashley Stone had already left. Only David Song was sitting there drinking. Seeing me come out, he slowly raised his head. The dim light hit his face, making it impossible to see any expression. Lily Lynn, where did you go today? It's none of your business. I didn't want to say more, but David Song suddenly smashed his glass. He strode up to me. What are you pretending to be? Don't think I don't know you're messing around with a gigolo. Lily Lynn, are you so impatient? Are you blaming me for neglecting you recently? If that's the case, I'll grant your wish. As he spoke, David Song roughly tore my clothes and dragged my hand towards the bed. I was startled by his actions and struggled desperately. David Song, are you crazy? I just gave birth. David Song, who had lost his mind, couldn't hear anything and bit my shoulder. I pushed David Song away with all my strength and slapped him. Enraged, David Song retaliated and picked up the glass on the table and smashed it at me. With a bang, a trickle of blood slowly trickled down my forehead. David Song was stunned for a moment and subconsciously came over to help me. Why didn't you dodge? I staggered back a few steps, wanting to say something. But my body couldn't support me and I fell down. 4. I don't know how long it had been, but the sound of David's song and Grandpa's song arguing woke me up. I realized that I was back in the hospital again. Seeing that I was awake, David's song seemed relieved. He looked at Grandpa's song with a displeased expression. This is the good wife you chose for me. She's not even out of postpartum care and she's running off to date a gigolo. Grandpa's song was trembling with anger. What date? Do you know what Lily Lynn was doing yesterday? Grandpa. I interrupted Grandpa's song. It's all in the past. Grandpa's song understood what I meant and didn't say anything more. He just looked at David's song with a disappointed expression. David's song waved his hand dismissively. She's awake, there's nothing else for me here. Ashley Stone is waiting for me, I'll go first. Grandpa's song hit him with his cane. Beast. I don't care where you go today, but you must come to the Song family estate with Lily Lynn tomorrow. Before he could finish speaking, David Song's figure had disappeared at the door. Grandpa Song sighed deeply, his back becoming even more hunched. He handed the divorce agreement that had already been signed to me. Lily Lynn, it was my fault for not raising my descendants well. But that child is also your flesh and blood. I hope you can send him off one last time. Looking at the old man with all his hair white, I couldn't bear to refuse. The next morning, I came to the Song family estate in black clothes. This child was born with my life. It's a pity that I didn't even have time to hold him before we were separated forever. I gently wiped away the tears from the corners of my eyes. It's better this way. So that I won't be reluctant to leave because I have something to worry about. I had already tried my best in this marriage. Leaving this time, I only felt tired, with no regrets. David Song didn't show up until the child was buried. Instead, I saw photos of him and Ashley Stone trying on wedding dresses on the trending searches. Ashley Stone sent me a message triumphantly. What if you gave birth to a child? David Song still chose me in the end. Oh right, did you think David Song was taking care of you while you were in a coma? Actually, he was with me the whole time. We unlocked many new positions in the hospital bed next to you. In the video, my pale face contrasted sharply with Ashley Stone's radiant face. I didn't reply, silently forwarding all the messages and videos to Grandpa Song. Then, I took off my wedding ring. Holding my mother's ashes, I whispered, "Mom, let's go home." It wasn't until nightfall that David Song returned to the Song family estate, reeking of alcohol. As soon as he pushed open the door, he was frightened by the wreaths everywhere. Who died? Could it be Karen Zhang's mother? He was startled and panicked. Why didn't you tell me about such a big thing earlier? Where's Lily Lynn? She must be very sad now. I want to be with her. Grandpa Song, who had been beaming until now, threw the divorce agreement in David Song's face. Lily Lynn has already left with her mother's ashes. Today is your son's memorial service. 5. Grandpa Song's emotions, which he had been holding back until now, completely exploded. He pointed at David Song and roared, "Your mistress drove the car and caused Lily Lynn to have a premature birth. The child missed the best rescue time and suffocated in Lily Lynn's womb. Her mother also passed away suddenly because of the shock. David Song, all of this is your fault." David Song was stunned in disbelief. He looked around and sneered. He tore the divorce agreement in his hand to shreds. "Grandpa, you're so old, don't follow Lily Lynn in acting. I don't believe she will divorce me. How can she bear to part with the power and wealth of the Song family?" David Song kicked over a wreath next to him. "Why are you putting these things in the house for no reason? Aren't you just angry that I've been out all the time and haven't come home to see the child? I'm back now. Where's the child? Bring him over and let me see. Have you named him? Does he look like me or Lily Lynn?" David Song hummed a little tune and looked around. But all the servants in the Song family were hanging their heads, looking sad. None of them paid attention to him. Seeing this, a sense of unease flashed through David Song's heart. He searched the mansion. After searching without success, his tone became a little unnatural. "Where did you hide my child?" "Grandpa, I know I went a little too far last time. I shouldn't have hit Lily Lynn. But the child has been born, can she still divorce me? Tell me where she is, I'll go find her, apologize, and coax her." David Song didn't take Karen Zhang's anger and grievance to heart. He knew that Lily Lynn couldn't leave him. No matter how outrageous he was, Lily Lynn had to swallow all the grievances alone for the sake of her mother. Moreover, they now had a child. Lily Lynn had another thing to worry about. David Song didn't believe she would divorce him. He didn't believe she would leave either. Grandpa Song picked up his cane and hit David Song hard. "You beast, how could the Song family raise such a monster like you? You don't want such a good woman like Karen Jiang, but you treat a socialite like a treasure." David Song curled his lips dismissively. He simply crossed his legs and sat down on the sofa. "You saw that trending search, so you joined forces to act, right? Grandpa, those women and I are just playing around. Lily Lynn is the most important woman in my heart. I never thought of letting any woman replace her position. If you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you now." As he spoke, David Song made a cell phone to Ashley Stone. "Do you still like the wedding dress? I've already bought it for you. You're not young anymore, find an honest man to marry, and don't appear in front of me again in the future." Without waiting for the other party to respond, David Song had already skillfully blocked Ashley Stone. Then he spread his hands and looked at Grandpa Song with a smile. "Are you satisfied now? Okay, let Lily Lynn bring the child home with me. At most, I'll promise her that I'll come home to be with her and the child on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and go out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays." Grandpa Song was so angry at David Song's cynical appearance. He was determined to teach this unpromising grandson a good lesson. But as soon as he raised his cane, he felt dizzy. The continuous blows and hard work completely overwhelmed the elderly man. He clutched his chest and fell straight down. 6. David Song's expression changed drastically, and he rushed Grandpa Song to the hospital. The entire Song family was in chaos. After a night of rescue, he was finally out of danger. He just fell into a coma and didn't know when he would wake up. David Song stood at the door of the ward, lighting a cigarette irritably. The doctor next to him hurried forward to stop him. David Song grabbed the other party's collar. "You're the gigolo who dated Lily Lynn. You still have the nerve to appear in front of me. Where's Lily Lynn? Did she take the child and hide with you? Tell her to come out and see me." Hearing this, the doctor, who had always been well-mannered, couldn't help but fight back. His eyes were red as he looked at David Song. "You bastard, do you think you're great just because you have a few stinky dollars? Do you know that I accompanied Miss Lynn to the funeral home that day to collect her mother's ashes? She's a woman, alone and helpless, and lost her child and mother suddenly in one day. And you, her husband, not only didn't stay by her side, but also spent your days drinking and having fun with your mistress. Are you even human?" The nurses and colleagues next to him came to mediate. But every word was blaming David Song. Faced with these questions, David Song couldn't say a word. His mind was full of Lily Lynn's calm and numb face that day. Over the years, he had long been accustomed to ignoring Lily Lynn's emotions. How could he have noticed the intense sadness hidden beneath that seemingly calm face? David Song's heart ached fiercely. But he still gritted his teeth and shook his head. "You've all been bought off by Lily Lynn. I won't believe your nonsense. Lily Lynn cares so much about her mother. If her mother died, how could she have no reaction at all? And that child, she gave birth to him with her life. How could she be so calm?" He said this, but his heart was filled with turmoil. David Song wanted to prove that he was right. He drove home like crazy. Looking at the empty house, he suddenly remembered. The day they argued and fought, Lily Lynn came back to pack her luggage. She was really determined to leave. Lily Lynn. Lily Lynn. No one responded to the repeated calls. David's song lost his footing and fell to the ground. He also saw the wedding ring rolling under the table. This wedding ring was custom-made by David's song not long after they got married. Lily Lynn treasured it very much. Over the past 10 years, the two had argued constantly. But Lily Lynn had never been willing to take off this wedding ring. For the two of them, this ring was not only a wedding ring, but also a testimony to their beautiful relationship. It was the only remaining hope and memory. But now, the ring was discarded in a corner where no one cared about it. Lily Lynn was also nowhere to be found. David Song's heart gradually sank, all the way to the bottom. He looked blankly at the familiar surroundings, but felt that everything was so strange. Sadness and fear surrounded him from all directions. Grandpa Song still showed no signs of waking up. All the affairs of the company could only be handled by David Song. But David Song's heart was all on Lily Lynn. In the past, Grandpa Song took care of the company's affairs. Karen Jiang took care of the affairs at home. David Song didn't have to worry about anything and spent his days drinking and having fun. But overnight, the two most important people in his life, the pillars of his life, all left. David Song couldn't support such a large company. He couldn't support a broken home either. Helpless, David Song chose to escape. He got drunk every day. He hugged Lily Lynn's photo and cried bitterly. This night, David Song was drinking at home again. The door of the room was pushed open. A slender figure walked in and gently hugged David Song. Smelling that familiar fragrance, David Song's long silent heart began to beat wildly. He hugged the person tightly in his arms, constantly telling his thoughts and love. Lily Lynn, you're finally back. You don't know how much I've missed you during this time. Grandpa is very sick, and the company's affairs are overwhelming me. When I get home, I can't see you. I really don't know what to do. Don't leave me again, okay? I'll change, I won't go out and mess around anymore, I'll stay by your side, we'll have another cute child, and our family of 3 will live a good life. The drunk David Song and the person who came had a night of entanglement. It wasn't until the morning sun shone in front of the bed that he saw clearly that the person last night was Ashley Stone. Ashley Stone leaned against David Song's arms, weak and boneless. She opened her mouth and said, I heard everything you said last night, David. Lily Lynn doesn't deserve your love. Let me stay with you in the future, okay? I won't be as useless as her. I will definitely give you a healthy and cute child. This time, David